All right, Keith, a very, very busy week for you guys. Starts today with snow, and
Yeah.
it just gets crazier after that.
Yeah, and Ryan was just looking out the window. We're already accumulating snow in Portland. So this first part is snow, and then freezing rain, and then wind and rain. The roads look wet in downtown Portland because they're treated, of course, so that helps us out. But it is snowing, and it's snowing pretty efficiently across the southern part of the state. You can see it in the lights there. Memories as a kid of looking out, waiting for it to snow, seeing if I could see the first few flakes out there. You can see them stretching across Portland up to about Falmouth right now. This snow tonight will be a lot like what we had over the weekend in the sense that we'll accumulate several inches of snow, but at no point should it be snowing all that hard. Generally light, couple of moderate bursts. Everyone except for the far southern coast will be snow, and again, efficient accumulating snow. Temperatures fall tonight into the 20s. By 11 o'clock tonight, still snowing to the mid-coast, down east Maine, and down to southern Maine. By 1, 2 o'clock, it's confined to down east and mid-coastal Maine. And then we move this snow out of here in time for tomorrow morning's commute. Now, there's not a lot of moisture around tomorrow morning and really during the day. The problem is our temperature profile is going to be really conducive to freezing rain. So we've got cold air at the surface, temperatures in the 20s. What you can't see is above that, up in the atmosphere, it's warm. So it'll fall as rain, and then when it hits the ground, it will freeze. So we'll see pockets of freezing drizzle off and on tomorrow. I don't think there's a lot of freezing rain going on. And then tomorrow night, a second round of precipitation moves into the same air mass. And so that might be our best chance to see some more freezing rain. This is tomorrow night around midnight into the early morning hours on Wednesday. And then we change over everywhere to rain on Wednesday. And then we have to deal with that, the rain and the wind, which we'll talk more about in a second. So tonight's forecast is one of the easier parts of it. Looks like broadly 1 to 3 inches of snow, a little bit of a bullseye here where we could see 3 to 5 inches across western Maine and back into New Hampshire. Again, relatively light and easily accumulating snow. As far as ice numbers go, they're not going to be high either. We're not looking at an ice storm, but we'll see pockets of freezing rain out there and freezing drizzle under 0.1 inches, and then 0.1 to a quarter of an inch of ice is possible in this bullseye out towards Sebago in North Conway. Minimal power outage risk with that, but just some coatings on untreated surfaces. So when we change over to rain on Wednesday, then we get into a rain and wind storm phase of this. And the rainfall amounts are going to be pretty high. And the wind is going to be really gusty here. It looks like Wednesday night is our best chance, winds straight out of the south. And I would say it's a pretty good bet that we'll have wind gusts of 50, maybe up to 55 miles an hour. The question is if we'll be able to push that into the 60s, and that has to do with the temperature profile and the exact track of this front, so we'll leave that for now. But I'd say plan for a windy night on Wednesday, at least scattered power outages. If we go up to 60 or so, there'll be more than scattered on Wednesday evening. And the last part of this equation is the rainfall, which is going to be 2 to 2.5 inches of rain in addition to the snow melt that will be happening in the mountains. Now, people are worried, and rightly so, that this is a repeat of December storm from last year. We had really catastrophic flooding in the mountains, but it doesn't look like that type of situation. For one thing, we had 5 or 6 inches of rain that time. We're looking at half that, if not a little bit less. The other situation is last December, the snowpack was really primed to melt off. This is not the situation here. We will lose some snow, but it doesn't look like we're going to just obliterate the snowpack and add it to the moisture. So we'll see some flooding. I do not think we're talking about what we had last year in December. So a pair of weather impact days,
Yeah.
Tuesday and into Wednesday. Should quiet down after that and into the weekend. And I think what you're going to be most concerned about is based on geography, right? So if
Sure.
you're along the coast, I would have my eye on that wind on Wednesday night. If you're out towards Sebago, I'm probably thinking about the ice. And if you're in the mountains, I'm probably thinking about the rain and the snow melt. So it really depends on your location, what the biggest hazard is going to be here.
And any likelihood of this shifting over the next couple of days?
The only thing that could shift is the wind could shift a little bit east. The rest
Sure.
of this is pretty much how it's going to be.
We'll have make sure people are tuning in the rest of the
Yeah.
week as this goes on. Thanks, Keith.